So the other day I went into a child's toy store and picked up a stuffed animal. Used to be like a golden retriever of some sort, for $6. Actually, quite well made. The fabric is not bad considering, fake fur or whatever. Um, it's made in China, as you would expect. Most of these things are made in Asia now. Um, the pellets inside, I don't believe are toxic. I think they're just little plastic pellets. Because it's like a beanbag thing. I'll show you again. Um, yeah, it does make you wonder though. Uh, you wonder who made it. How old were they? Uh, do they eat dogs or not? Are they Buddhist and don't eat meat at all? Do they condemn eating meat? Are they cruel to animals? All these sort of questions come into mind. Um, I don't. I think golden retrievers are actually illegal in China in the last few years, but I mean that doesn't mean they don't get eaten. The Yalun Meat Festival just happened, and they say 10,000 dogs get slaughtered during this festival. And I don't think that's true. I think that's underestimating how many are actually killed deliberately so that it's misleading to the people. I wouldn't even be surprised if we're in the tens of millions of dogs get slaughtered during this event. Uh, it's mostly a South China thing, although it originated from the north. But a long time ago, it went to the south, really. Some places it's illegal to eat dog meat in Asia. That's loosely controlled, I believe. Not really enforced. I know at one point there was a bit of a rabies scare. Again, I think they were lowballing the numbers. They were saying a few people got rabies and up to 2,000 people get it every year. So they imposed strict measures. They would go around beating people's dogs that they were walking with sticks to death. And I'm not making this stuff up. I do. There is evidence on it, or what some people would call evidence, in online sponsored links and things like that, and stories and newsreels and things like that. It doesn't get talked about too much in the West. A lot of people just want to ignore it. Um, I mean, we do eat meat over here, but we're so much less barbaric about it. I mean, it's you go into a grocery store and it's already packaged for you, everything's done. And that's not quite the same thing as you going out and beating a dog to death and chopping it up because you like the taste of its meat better when it's terrified before it dies. That's no myth. That does happen quite a lot in China. When was the last time you heard of an average person going around beating a cow to death and then cutting up its flesh and consuming that? Nobody does that in the West. Yeah, getting back to this plush toy. It was well made. I do feel genuinely bad for whoever made it because I mean they could have been very young, no money. Could be slave labor conditions. I only paid $6 for this thing, man. If I made something like this, I would want more than $6 for it. I'll tell you that much. Even though there's subsidies and different currencies and things like that, and I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure there's some advantage to it. Don't ask me what it is. Um, yeah, the you don't know. There's a story behind this plush animal long before it got here. There might even be some sort of poison in it. Really, you never know. Maybe 1 in 20 of these things has strychnine in it or something like that. Won't know until it's too late anyway. Yeah, so it's ironic that I bought a plush toy dog that comes from China. They eat dogs. They have a lower regard for them. Some Chinese do. Some of them actually like them for their loyalty, particularly the Buddhists, and they consider it bad karma to eat something that's, you know, a loyal friend of yours. But there are others who don't give a damn. They think the meat tastes good. They think it has medicinal benefits. They think it's good for your liver and this and that and your sex drive. And there's no scientific proof of any of that. It's just meat protein. So, I mean, protein, you need that in the body, but no meat does anything in particular for your liver or your sex drive or anything like that. It just doesn't. That's a fanciful, mythical lie. Or misunderstanding, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so I bought this dog for that purpose of shooting this video. Showing the irony and the hypocrisy that these things are actually sold here in Canada. And in other parts of the world, they have a totally different regard towards these particular type of animals. Now, some people say, well, look, if you eat a cow but you won't eat the dog, then you're a speciesist. I have two words for, well, I have a few different sets of two words, but the two words I'm going to say to people are like, that think that way, it's mostly vegans, I might add, is I disagree. There's another set of two words I wanted to use, but I'll leave those out. Yeah, so it's a combination of things. This thing, it's a topic piece, this stuffed animal dog. They eat dogs in China. They barbarically do it. Yet they make stuffed animals for Westerners for pennies on the dollar. I just don't get it. And that's assuming the person who sewed it together even got paid anything. Now this one is fairly well sewn together, so they probably were paid, and it is done on a massive scale, so they're able to put out these things a lot faster, and it's not like sewing it from scratch. But it still took time and effort and energy, and machines can't exactly build these things yet. That's the whole point of having businesses in China and factories in China, is the cheap labor to build these things or make them or sew them together, is so that you save money. If they just could create machines to do all this stuff, that would eliminate their jobs, and that would not be good for the Chinese economy. So I bought this stuffed animal. It's gonna go in my cupboard of mysterious and curious items, where I keep my Iron Cross, where I keep my Kriegsmarine badges, and my other stuff. Yeah, real shame what they do to dogs over there. I guess eating meat altogether is bad, but somehow it's worse when you're eating a family pet. And I hear they even snatch people's family pets from them who have dogs in China to cook them up. I swear to God, if someone snatched a family pet of mine to cook up and eat, I would not be happy with them. I would be very, very not happy with them. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to make this video. Yeah, it's too bad about this dog. It's a real cutie too. Yeah, sad story. It's even got a bit of a sad look on its face. Slave labor, brutality towards animals. What else is there to say about it? It's a cruel world we live in.